Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We are up to X-Spider. X-Spider.
X-Spider.
Who has been, I like that little handle.
Yeah.
Waiting for a very long time. You there? X-Spider?
Oh, yeah?
Hi. Yeah. We sorry for we'll keep you waiting, but you're on. How you doing?
All right. Yeah, I had a question about free will.
Okay.
Me and my friend have a kind of ongoing debate about free will, and I'm just kind of interested in what your opinion would be about the two different meanings that we have. Obviously, the argument is about the meaning of free will, and whether it exists or not.
Okay. Well, give us a short version of you and your friend's argument. What's your view and what's his view?
All right. His view is his view is that there is no free will because somebody could have a cancer or, how do you say it, Russia?
Vitamin deficiency.
Vitamin deficiency?
It could cause mental retardation, therefore we are biochemical and we're at the mercy of chemical.
Okay, I think we get the idea, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we get it.
Biology of our bodies, therefore there's no free will.
Okay.
Okay.
And I guess X-Spider, you disagree with that? Or?
Yeah, I really think that the free will I'm looking at, the free will I'm defining would be a freedom of thought. We are able to think of anything, absolutely, and because we are able to think of anything, we can invent devices and things to get past our limits of the human body.
Okay. Well, Jen's writing down some notes. You have some thoughts on this? Yeah.
Well, I would say that, I'm trying to think of how to frame this in a way that's, I guess, internally consistent. I guess going to the biological example, yes, it's true that some people are born with, there's a condition I'm thinking of that's the result of, I guess, two recessive genes. It's phenylketonuria, where an infant is unable to process the amino acid phenylalanine. And as a result, you have to have a special diet. The important thing is that if you have this special diet, then the condition never manifests. And if you don't have this special diet, then the condition will manifest and the child will end up becoming retarded over a period of time. Okay. So it does cause some cognitive issues. So I guess in that respect, the child doesn't really have free will because the child didn't have anything to do with inheriting this condition. But that doesn't mean that no one can do anything about it. So I guess there's a question here about when you're talking about free will, we normally think of that as, that is something that I possess as an individual, but I can't control what I inherit. So in that respect, I don't have free will over my biology.
Yeah, I would agree with
to
that.
an absolute degree.
Yeah, I would say that both of you guys are right to an extent. There are for example, you could just be living your life, right, and then come down with cancer, or your relative has, and there are certain. And I have talked to buddies of mine, and these are guys, on the atheist side who take the very absolutist position on no free will, because it gets right down to the, you can't control the spinning of the atoms that make up your cell. I mean, you can take it down to an absurd extreme if you want to. I think that free will really is something that you can only, I guess, claim to possess at a pragmatic level, such as, I can choose my friends, I can choose my career, I can choose what ideas are appealing to me. You will have certain life experiences, and then based on those, you will make choices. You will choose whether or not you want to have a family or not. You can choose to be vegetarian or a carnivore. You can choose to be Republican, Democrat. You can choose to go play soccer on Sunday afternoon, or just stay home and watch TV, or there are practical levels where you have free will to a certain degree. At the same time, if you choose to go, just walk across the street to, the 7-Eleven to, get a cup of coffee, and a bus plows you down that you didn't see or something, or somebody skids on wet pavement and, runs you over, well, your free will certainly couldn't have prevented that, right? So I think that free will is it's really only a thing that you can claim to have at a certain very kind of immediate practical level. You can have free will in terms of making general decisions that guide your life and your attitude and your thoughts and where you kind of go, from point A to point B in your life. But yes, at the same time, a meteor could crash on the earth and kill us all. And so there you are, right? I mean, and nobody's free will can do a damn thing about that. We just can't shoot Bruce Willis up in a space shuttle and have him. So yeah, I think to a certain extent, both of you guys are right. I mean, there are things that you cannot control, and so to even try to introduce free will into that discussion is silly. And then, when it kind of just think of free will as a pragmatic thing and here's the problem that I have. If we want to segue back into some of our criticisms of like Christian apologetics, getting back to the problem of evil, that's a real nasty one that Christian apologists have had to deal with, and their usual response is, well, God cannot interfere with free will. God gave us free will, and now having given it to us, He doesn't want to interfere with that because, well, if He's going to interfere with it, then why give it to us in the first? Well, hang on, I'm going to make my point, and then I'll let you follow up. Well, the problem is, okay. Well, let's look at an evil situation, right? Let's look at two people. Let's have, say, rapist
raping
victim.
a 13-year-old girl who's going to get stoned to death.
So you're saying God can't interfere with this? Well, whose free will it matters here?
Yeah.
You have, on one side of the ring, rapist, whose free will is saying, I want to rape this child. On the other side, you have 13-year-old girl says, her free will is saying,
I prefer not to be raped.
Not right. Yeah, just not on my agenda at the moment, right? So, but God sits back and doesn't interfere and doesn't, prevent this horrible crime from happening, and therefore, child gets raped. Now, isn't in a way God is essentially favoring the free will of the evil person,
right, at the expense of the innocent,
over the victim?
Yes.
So so now who wants to worship? Why would you want to worship a God who is the patron god of rapists? So that's the problem with the whole the appeal to free will as an attempted response to the problem of evil in Christianity. There's just all sorts of problems with free will in that context too. So yeah, free will is a real problematic one. But myself, not being a philosopher, I just say I keep it at practical levels. I admit that there are probably most things in my life I can't control, but I just try to get by the best I can. And so
the thing I see is that religion is actually what declines the free will because there couldn't be free will if there's an missing God.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So I kind of see how free will wouldn't be. A lot of people related to religion, I don't. I see it as something that we can possibly simply just have.
Yeah.
But,
but you've pointed out, yes, another inconsistency in Christian belief. This whole, the problem with an omniscient God, but supposedly we're free agents in our own lives.
I see.
It doesn't. But anyway. But yeah, thanks for calling up with that question because that was really interesting to talk about.
You.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for calling.